Hey everybody, Brandon Lee, and today I am talking about resales and referrals. And we all talk about resales and referrals quite a bit. I found over the years that businesses like to talk about their referrals and getting referrals, but they don't necessarily have systems in place to actively generate those referrals. And it really is a process of nurturing your clients and preparing them so that when you ask them for the referral or the resale, that they are more likely to say yes and act on it than to ignore you, which is a lot of times what I hear with people. They say, oh, we ask for referrals, but we just get ignored. So let's talk a little bit about why are referrals so important. And when I say referrals and resales, I'm going to just put those all together in one. Why are resales and referrals so important? And really, they're so important because they're a lot less expensive to acquire than a new client. The second thing is that acquiring new clients is so hard these days. You have so much more competition. There's so much more information. People are so busy that it's really hard to capture their attention and convert a client. So if you have a client already, selling to them, as you know, is just so much easier. And the other thing, the statistics that I've read over the years is that a referral is at least 15% more likely or 15 times more likely to become a client than somebody that's cold. So getting resales, getting referrals are just great ways to really build your business quickly. And as you know, everything I talk about is growth-oriented businesses. And those are so important for helping us grow a little bit, and in so many different areas helps a business go like this. So let's look at the keys to developing a culture or a way of nurturing your clients for both the resale and the referral. And there's really three very simple ways of doing this, or three simple steps to do it. One is offer high value. The more value you give to your clients, what they pay to what they get, they perceive it as extremely high value. Obviously, they're more likely to buy from you again, and they're much more likely to tell other people about you. You've heard this before in all areas of your life is, hey, you should go check this out. It was a good deal, right? So you want to have extremely high value. The second piece is extremely high service. Unfortunately, we live in a culture now where customer service isn't necessarily the priority for everybody. We complain about how customer service is dying or it's dead and all of those things. So if you provide very high customer service, then they're not going to go anywhere else, they're going to stay with you, but they're more likely to refer you to other people. The third piece is just high likability. Be likable, be friends with them. It's part of that value. It's part of the service, but be likable, encourage them, really make efforts to build relationships with them, because I've always said, and I've always structured my businesses in a way that somebody on our staff is responsible for the relationship and becoming a friend to them as much as possible, because it's always easier to fire a company than it is to fire a person, and it's even more difficult to fire a friend than to just hire, instead of just firing some random person. So become friends with them. It keeps them connected to you. And we like to do favors for our friends. So when you ask them for either the second sale or, hey, we have this new product, or you ask them for referrals, they're much more likely to do that when you're a friend than if you're just some person, or some provider, but they see you more as a friend. So, excuse me, let's look at a few things that prevent people from buying again or from referring us. And I really see there's four key areas that we make mistakes in that prevent people from buying from us. And the first thing is lack of attention. We give them so much attention before we close the deal, right? We're very focused on them, and they call, we pick up the phone, we call immediately, they send an email, we respond right away because we're trying to close the deal. And as soon as the deal's done, we're gone. they don't get the attention after the sale that they got before the sale, and there's a big letdown. And, it rubs them the wrong way. You've probably been in situations like this before. So when that happens to people, they're starting to pull back, and they're going to start looking for other vendors for future, and by no means are they going to refer you to people. The second piece the second step that I see is the indifference. Maybe you still give them attention, but you're a little bit more indifferent. Now, this may not be you. It may be other people on your team as well, that they call in for tech support or customer service. It's no longer you being the front facing with them, but somebody else is, and they're just kind of there. They're not as excited as you were in the sale. They solve their problems eventually, but they're just really indifferent to the person, to their problem, or to them as a human being. It just, if somebody doesn't care about us, our tendency is to not care about them. The third piece then is a non-response. They call in, they look for help, and they don't get anywhere. That's just a very sure way of having people go, I'm done, I'm going to move on, and definitely not going to refer people to you. And I know in some ways these seem kind of silly, but check your systems. I remember I spoke on a panel one time, and they were talking about this study that they did, and this was in the real estate space. But they went to 100 agents' websites, and they clicked on the contact button, and they wrote basically, hey, I found a house I wanted to buy, or I have a house I want to sell, and they just took a median price for the area, and I'd like for you to help me with it. Could you please call me? And the response was like less than 10% of the agents even responded to the email. Somebody took the time, went to their website, used one of their systems, and sent a request request to be serviced, and nobody responded in 90% of the time. So if you have systems in place, you have social media, you have emails, you have websites, make sure that somebody's responding to those, because you don't know where your customers are going to be trying to connect with you. And if they get no response, then they're not going to respond to your request for a referral. Now, the fourth one is complaints. And I think this one is a really, really important thing to talk about, because there's tremendous opportunities in complaints. Now, we're not perfect. None of us are. And so your business, your process with your clients, you're going to experience complaints. How you handle complaints is what makes a difference between companies that are growing fast and companies that are struggling and moving along. Because we, as a culture now, as I said before, we don't have high expectations of customer service, which is a sad thing, but we don't. We especially don't have a high expectations of having our complaints handled well. We go into it expecting, you probably do this, oh crap, I got to deal with this again, right? When people come with a complaint and you go above and beyond, you handle it well, you get it to their satisfaction, you're engaging with them, and you do it quickly, you will impress the heck out of them, because one, it's the right thing to do, but two, they're just not used to it. So when you have complaints, it's a huge opportunity for you to solidify the relationship and impress them and get them to become a huge fan of you and your business. When I owned By Design Publishing, some of our best clients over the years were people that started with us, they had a little issue, and were more impressed with the way we handled our complaints than they were even with our product and before, or as they signed up and joined our program. So I really do believe that the way you handle complaints, the speed, the thoroughness, the genuineness of it with your clients really is what dictates the heart of an organization. And when your heart is in it for your clients for the right reasons, you will see tremendous amounts of resales and tremendous amounts of referrals. All of this is what I call the customer for life mindset. And there are systems that we put in place. I mean, I have a 7-step program that you go through in setting up a system to build that nurturing environment, that supportive environment with your clients in order to have higher success rates when you ask for the resale and when you ask for the referral. And this week in my membership program, we deep dive into that 7-touch program. We talk about how to use surveys to find out the heartbeat of your clients, and how to use that with your clients to maximize your resales and to maximize your referrals. So that's it for today. We're on resales and referrals this entire month of January. If you missed them, go back into the blog. This whole month has been on how to increase sales. Everything from my sales map system to knowing your value and presenting your value, to handling objections and closing techniques. And then this week, of course, was on establishing a customer for life mindset for resales and referrals. So I hope it gave tremendous value to you. And give me comments below. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you have any questions. And of course, I invite you to take a look at the online membership program. We have a great deal. We have a $1 trial for 2 weeks. We have a monthly program. We have the annual program. We have some really neat bonuses this year if you sign up for the annual program that you can get. If you do the annual program right now, it includes a 1-hour private session with me consulting you directly on your business. So, hey, I'd love to have you. I hope you have a great day, and I look forward to talking to you soon. Take care.